And I'm entering into the Paula Deen contest for the $25,000. The reason I am doing this contest is I want to start my own business and I think I would do really well at it. I'm going to show you today how to make it's a butterscotch cream pie with the Philadelphia cream cheese and some pudding. And I will show you how to put this together. It's very simple, very easy, and a lot of people seem to like it. So I thought I would share this with a lot of people and let's see if it makes me a winner. I'm going to start first with butterscotch pudding, just your instant butterscotch pudding. Any brand will work. And then you put that in one medium-sized bowl. And then you make sure you put in cold milk, and I use 2%, and it's a 1.5 cup of milk to 1 package of pudding. Now what you'll do is blend that until it gets thick. Probably about maybe 2 minutes worth of blending. You want to make sure that it is thick and it's set. It kind of has that jiggly pudding effect there. If it's too runny, it won't set in your pie. So you have to make sure that it is thick and set. Now what I'm going to do is take 1 brick or block of the Philadelphia cream cheese. And the reason I use these in my this in my cream cheese, or use this in my pies, is because the Philadelphia is a lot better. It creams better than like some of your other generic brands. I've noticed when I use my generic brands, and I do leave this out for just a little bit so the cream cheese gets soft. And then you can just use your same beaters, because it won't matter. You can cream this. You can either cream this first or this first. It's not going to matter because you're going to end up combining them anyways. But you do cream this separate. And I have actually tried skipping a step by putting this just into it right away without creaming it, and it doesn't work. So don't skip the step of creaming it by itself. Now what I do is I just scoop out the Philadelphia cream cheese and put it in here. And the one thing you want to have ready before you make your filling is to make sure you do have a pie crust. Before I start creaming that together, I want to show you pie crusts. Pie crusts are easy to make, or you can buy your own, depending on how much time you have and what you want to do. I do make my own because people like the homemade taste, and they're so much easier anyways. Better for you, I don't know. You do have to, if you're going to make a homemade one, you do have to have fine graham cracker crusts. and it takes 1 1/4 cup of graham cracker crust. Make sure they're pretty fine because you don't want chunks of graham crackers in your crust. And then it takes 3 tablespoons of sugar and 5 tablespoons of melted butter. You put that in a bowl and you mix it together. I just pat it. I take the back of the spoon, or you can use your hands, and you just pat it into your pie pan. You put it in your oven at 350 for 8 minutes, and it will set. And then you let it cool. If you don't let this cool and you put your pudding in there, it will melt. So make sure that's nice and cooled down. If you're doing any other graham cracker crust with a hot pie, it doesn't matter. But with your pudding pies, that has to be cool. Now before I'm going to go ahead and mix my cream cheese to my pudding, and you can see now the pudding actually, as I've let it set, has become thicker, which is fine because that's what you want. You don't want a runny pie. So I'm going to go ahead and just cream these together. That it's pretty creamed together. You don't want lumps of cream cheese sitting in your pudding. You'll have a little bit of lump, but that's just the cream cheese. It will be fine. No one will even know. And then what you'll want to do is you take a tub, any brand of Cool Whip is fine. Make sure it's thawed, and then just add the whole tub. I know that seems like a lot of Cool Whip, but this actually will make 2 pies. I make it 1 because I like it fuller, but this actually will make 2 pies in a 9-inch pie pan. Then what you're going to want to do is just gently fold in your Cool Whip. You don't want to stir. As you can see, I'm just gently folding in. If you stir, it will go flat. Your mix will go flat and it will be runny. So just gently kind of stir that in. Make sure you're grabbing the bottom of your bowl or your mix. And that's about how I leave it. I leave it like that. It doesn't look like it's mixed real well, but it is. If I mix any more, I'll probably have a flat pie. Now all you'll want to do is spoon it in. Now this is a very easy recipe. I have entered this contest because I want to start my own business, and I've had tons of people tell me how well I do, and we have actually moved to a new area and I'm starting over again. So I thought, what a perfect time to start my own baking business. So you just put this in your pie crust. It's easy, it's simple, it's quick. You'll want to let it set for at least 3 hours before you start digging into it, or you'll have a pie that's just going to come out in a glob. Make sure you get all the stuff out of the bowl. The bowl aside so you can see my pie. Scoop it off, kind of make it look a little pretty here. And you don't have to do a whole lot because that Cool Whip is already in there, so people have already kind of think you've already decorated it anyways. Just kind of do a few finished touches. Now as you can see, this is a pretty full pie. You can definitely make 2 if you're doing any potlucks or any family reunions. Make 2 pies out of the same mix. It's great. I like to give it a little bit more color because it seems kind of bland, so what I do is I take a few mini chocolate chips and just top it on top of my pie. And it gives it just a little bit more color and maybe a little bit more texture to the top. You can do any chocolate chips you want. And this is what I call my famous butterscotch cream pie. And here you go. Here is the finishing project. Thank you. And I hope you consider me for the winning contest.